Here it is, guys. The brand new build. Not bad. This transporter guy, he's really, really nice. He came all the way from Maine down here to the West Coast, basically cross-country drive. Super sick guy. He really likes the car, honestly. He says that he wants to buy one just like it for his wife, so that's pretty sick. We're gonna pay the man and get this car.
Guys, we just picked up the Tiguan. It's right here.
Another one, thank you.
Got another one. And this color, guys, look at it. It's so beautiful. Like, look at this color.
You OG guys will remember, we rebuilt one of these cars, like this is a 2023 and it's 2023 right now, so it's current year again. But back in 2020 we bought a 2020 Tiguan and we rebuilt that as well. It was white. That was like before I started like making like a lot of episodes for YouTube videos. That one was only a 2-part episode, and when I finished off that build, the last episode, the car wasn't even 100% complete. It was missing a bunch of brackets and stuff, but we did complete that car off camera, and we're gonna do this one and we're gonna get it completed fully on camera. We're gonna get this thing done, guys. This one's an R line. This is what I wished we had gotten the first time we bought a Tiguan, just because I heard that these things are really, really nice. But let's just see, let's take a look at this thing a little bit. Check that out, guys.
What? No way.
Dude, let me just sit in here. Oh,
Guys,
dude.
look at
Holy
that.
smokes.
Look at this interior, guys. Oh my god.
Welcome. There's the other key. Dude, there's parts back here and everything.
Panoramic, guys.
Dude, panoramic.
Panoramic Volkswagen.
Guys, look
Oh
at
my
the
god.
steering wheel.
I like the
Look at
stitching.
the steering, dude. They really know how to make these cars look sporty, very appealing to
What is this?
R line, dude. Guys, look at this.
Volkswagen really knows how to make an
Oh yeah.
SUV appealing to a car, guys.
Does this work?
This is very nice.
Oh no. Yeah, look at that. So sick. Alright guys, let's get this thing strapped up and taken to the shop.
All right, guys, we just finished strapping. Oh yeah, there's a loader, a trucker stuck there, but we're I don't know, we're just gonna leave this way. But I opened the trunk to put the straps in here. It's kind of high, so let's try to get my stretches in for this. All right, guys, we have got the Tiguan loaded up. I'm so excited for this car, but now let's go to the shop. It's home! Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we have a brand new build. This is a 2023 Volkswagen Tiguan SE R line, guys. And some of you OGs might remember that back in 2020 we did rebuild a 2020 Volkswagen Tiguan SE. It wasn't as nearly as nice as what this one is, guys, but this one is incredible, guys. And the damage on it is light, but it's also a little bit scary. But I'm really excited to get to work on this car, guys. It should not take long at all to fix this car, guys. So guys, let's just go ahead. I want to show you around this car, show you some of the damage, and then let's tear it down. So guys, this is the car right here, the 2023 Volkswagen Tiguan R line. This thing is pretty nice. It is fully loaded, guys. So take a look at this right here, guys. All these parts were inside of the car right here. So here we just have what's left of the front bumper right over here, and then just inner fenders and fender flares. And this was a bit of a scary part for me to find because I wasn't too sure what it was at first, but I did some research and this is actually just a secondary air pump. I believe the job of this whole apparatus right here is to force some air into the exhaust manifold, or to make sure that the air going out of the car is like clean air, something like that. But take a look at this damage, guys. This car basically had an impact right here, right under this driver headlight, which surprisingly that headlight is fine, but it had the impact right over here and kind of just grazed everything over here. So obviously it broke the front bumper, but then it hit the cooling system down here, damaging the intercooler and the radiator. If you look closely, it is leaking a little bit of coolant. The transmission cooler and condenser, however, are fine. And then this is the wires for the ABS sensor. I believe they just got cut right there. Super easy fix for that. The transmission lines got a little pinch, so we'll have to replace those. The rebar just got a little buckled and a little bent right here, so we're gonna have to replace this, guys. And then these are the hoses that go to that secondary air pump. Both of these are broken, so we're gonna have to order and replace these, guys. This is the inner fender, and then here is the suspension damage, guys. So basically the wheel got damaged a little bit and the tire obviously got a big hole in it, but you guys can see that this all got pushed back. Now some people might think the subframe is damaged too, or in the struts damaged and the knuckle and all that stuff could be damaged. I was very surprised to find out that all that stuff is okay. The only thing that happened is that the lower control arm folded over on itself and obviously bent the tie rod and ripped the front axle out. But guys, that damage is not too bad on this car right here in the front. It's looking really good. But for the damage that this is, you would think that, you know, it's still a pretty hard impact and maybe the airbags deployed. I was shocked to find out that no airbags deployed. The only thing deployed is the seatbelt. Super easy fix. We don't even need to pull the module out to get the airbag light turned off. If just the seatbelts lock up, then you do not need to pull your module out. It's only if the airbags go off usually that you have to reset or replace your airbag module. So coming into the interior, guys, this Tiguan is so nice, guys. At the night, you can see there's a little bit of ambient lighting right there. And Volkswagen really knows how to make some nice interiors for some SUVs, because this is a pretty sporty looking interior with the flat bottom steering wheel and all that. This SUV is pretty much made for a car, guy. This is so nice, and it even has sport mode. But look at this digital dash, and my favorite part, the panoramic sunroof, guys. Take a look at that. And then obviously leather seats, and this is the rear right here, guys. Take a look at this thing, guys. A lot of light comes into this interior from that sunroof. It is super amazing, and I love these wheels. I have not seen these wheels on a Tiguan before. These look really nice. And then coming over to the back, this car came with all the floor mat options. So we got the trunk mat, we have the all-weather floor mats, and then we have the carpeted floor mats, guys. Super sick. And then this is just a wiring harness from the bumper. Still has all the parking sensors in it, and it is in still great condition. So we're just gonna keep that in the trunk so it doesn't get damaged. And then this is just a broken part of the fender flare, guys. But this thing is looking sick, guys. Not too sure why it's leaking the fluid. I know that these lines are pinched right here, and I don't see any cracks or openings in them though, but we are replacing these lines. But we are gonna take this car apart today and see where the leak is coming from exactly. It is good to know that this car runs and drives, and the battery surprisingly is not dead. This car still has battery power, and we do have 2 keys for this thing as well. But this is super sick, and one amazing thing about this car is it has a clean title. I know some people like to know if a car has a clean or a salvage title, so I'm just gonna inform you guys that this car has a clean title because some people want to know. But now, guys, what we're gonna go ahead and do is I do not want to waste any more time. I want to get this car done quickly, as fast as I can, because this thing is pretty sick and it doesn't seem like it has too much damage, and I think we can get it done pretty fast. So let's just go ahead, not waste any more time, pop open the hood and take apart this front end. So let's do it. The hoods are so easy to open. You don't have like one of those sliding things. You also don't have like one of those cars where you have to pull the latch twice and the hood just pops open. It still has a lock, but the lock is so easy. It's just a tab right here. Just push it. That is so sick. And then hood strut pops open the engine. Super sick engine bay, so clean in there. All right, guys, let's take a look at this engine bay real quick. All the fluids and everything is still in this car. It still has some fluid, so it definitely didn't leak out all of it, but it's looking really clean in here. We don't have any work to do in this engine bay. Some of you OG guys might remember that white 2020 Tiguan we worked on, that car's damage was like from the bumper up, and it basically hit everything here and like slightly like hit the top of the engine. Everything on the engine was okay. We just needed a new engine cover, but it definitely had some pretty scary damage on that one. Actually don't quite remember how much on that car I actually showed you guys, that white Tiguan that we had worked on, like back when this channel first started off, because those videos were posted when this channel was like brand spanking new, so I didn't really make a bunch of videos on it. I think I only made 2, but that car did come out really good. I don't even think I filmed the finished product of that car. I think the last clip on that car I showed was that car done, but it was missing a few brackets on the bumper and stuff, but it did come out really good. So we're gonna go ahead now and take apart this car, guys. So let's do it. It is so cold out right now, and when things are cold, when plastic's cold, things are brittle, so you have to be more careful with them. Luckily nothing broke, but another thing that is super brittle when it's cold, I feel, is your skin. It definitely gets scratched up a lot easier in the cold, or at least things hurt a lot more. If you hit something on your hands and your hands are cold, I think it might hurt a little bit more. And that's exactly what happened. My hand, that one over there that's holding the camera, it is stinging a lot right now because of that big snapping thing that released when I took off the bumper. I had to release the clip because it was a little jammed inside the radiator support since it was broken. When it released, it came back and hit my hand. I got it off, but that really hurts. Alright guys, so a little over 2 hours later since we started tearing this thing down, and now it is pretty much fully torn down on the front end. So I went ahead and I took off all of the damaged pieces, guys, and I went ahead and I even found out where our transmission leak is coming from. So it's super relieving that I figured that out. I'm going to show you guys that in just a second, but here's all the parts we pulled off, and all these things you see on the ground right now, they are all getting replaced except for that grill and these headlights, as well as a few other parts that I have put over there. And this condenser here is actually fine, guys, so I didn't really disconnect those lines or anything because it is full of Freon, but we'll see if we can work around it. If not, we'll have to just disconnect it, but it is fine as it is right now because we were able to work around it, and I think we won't have an issue working on it in the future unless that radiator support requires us to get that out of the way. But this thing is looking really good, guys. We did have a lot of coolant actually in the radiator, but it is still busted at the bottom because it was only on one side that it had fluid. This side of the radiator doesn't have coolant in it, but this side did have coolant in it, so only half of it is basically good, so we can't really use it. But the fans are in amazing condition. We can use these fans. Now coming over here to our transmission lines, if you guys look closely, right over there is a cut, and that's where our transmission fluid left, guys. I'm so happy I figured that out, so we can go ahead and replace these lines and it'll fix that issue. No more hidden damage on this car. I have a parts list already written down for this thing, and there was only like 3 more parts that I had to add to this car that I forgot about. Just the side marker that I forgot about a little earlier, and then just some clips here and there. So nothing too major that we need. Is just some clips and a side marker, you know, little things, which is usual when you're doing a teardown on cars. You find like little things here and they're broken. So we're doing pretty good on parts, guys. Everything's looking really good on this car. So now what we have to do is first we have to clean up all this stuff, and then we also have to take apart this wheel section here. It does have a wheel lock on it, so that is on order, and once that gets here we can resume on that. But let's go ahead and clean all this up real quick in 3, 2, 1. All right, guys, so we got it all cleaned up and we have everything put inside now, and this car is looking really good. We definitely made a lot of progress today with the teardown on this car, guys, and it's looking amazing. But guys, daylight savings got us today, so we are running out of daylight, so I will go ahead and see you all tomorrow in the morning. All right, guys, so it is a few days later, and I got the Tiguan right here behind me. Me and my brother actually did put it on 4-wheel drives, and we pushed it back to create more space on this side over here. I just backed in the car right over here into this empty bay because the tools are right there, but this bay is actually empty because there's something epic coming in about 2 days, so that bay is free for that, and that car is definitely epic. It's definitely the most I'd say it's the second rarest car we've gotten, and definitely the one with the most carbon fiber. That's all I'll say, guys. A lot of carbon fiber on that car. That car even has carbon fiber in the name, literally. So just wait for that car, guys. It's going to be insane. But right now what I'm going to do is I just got the wheel lock in for this car, guys. We're going to see if this wheel lock fits. I'm pretty positive it'll fit. I already know that this wheel lock actually fits because I already tested it, guys, but it's just amazing every time you do it. Every time you match up this wheel lock nut and you just put it on that, it's just so satisfying because I don't know how I was able to find that lock key online, but I did, and it works. But we got this car here now, guys, and we can finally take apart that suspension. And once we get that all taken apart, guys, this car is ready to get all the new parts ordered for it. So let me go ahead and show you guys that OEM new lock key and then let's take this stuff apart. All right, so here we have this thing that looks like you get from that one magic set thing that we used to have as kids. Is like this little thing with like a bunch of metal rods, and you can like make the rod disappear into the other rod and reconnect and disconnect. That's what this piece looks like to me. And then this is the wheel lock nut from online, guys. It's super sick. This thing actually, it's insane. But anyways, you just take your little Volkswagen pick thing and you put it inside of here, and you just, oh no, well, you don't launch it there, but there it is. There's your lock nut. Check this out, guys. That right there is a perfect fit, guys, and that is going to be living in the glove box of this car. I'm not sure what happened to the original one, but that's the original one now, guys. So we have the lock nut now, guys, and we can go ahead and take off this suspension for good. So let's just go ahead, set up the time lapse, get this all taken apart, and I'm pretty sure all we need is just a lower control arm and an end link and maybe a couple minor things here and there, but nothing too major like a knuckle or a strut or a rotor or caliper. All that is still good. So guys, let's go ahead and just take this off and check it out and see how everything looks. Just went ahead and we got off all of the damaged suspension pieces. We got off the end link, the lower control arm, and we got off like this little adapter piece that goes on the knuckle there that connects to the lower control arm. It's right there. Got all that stuff out there. Got the inner and outer tie rods as well. Got all of that stuff off, and the last part that's needed to be taken off is this CV axle. So my brother's doing that right now. Basically, you just get behind the CV axle in between the axle and the transmission, and then you just pop it out like that. But one thing I really want to say, guys, is this lower control arm bolt, it's right there with the engine, and it's super long, guys, so the engine gets in the way, and it was super hard to get that out. The way we did it is we actually loosened the subframe bolts and we dropped the subframe a little bit, and we also had to like kind of persuade it down with the crowbar because it wouldn't go down all the way because the other side is still in, and I don't really want to loosen that side up. But this subframe is pretty tiny, so in order for you to drop it, I guess, a lot, you'd have to undo all of the bolts everywhere. But we were able to just undo this side and kind of just persuade it down with the crowbar, and then that's how we were able to get that bolt out. It was pretty long, and yeah, and then we just put the subframe back up, and we'll reverse the process to get that back in once the new control arm is here, guys. But yeah, just a quick little trick there. If you're ever in that type of situation, you can go ahead and just drop the subframe a little bit. How'd you do that? It took you forever to get that out.
Rigatoni.
Wow, that's the secret ingredient, rigatoni?
Yep.
Dude, that took...
I'm kidding. The secret ingredient was actually a 90-degree crowbar.
Dude, that's a good idea. It took forever to get that out.
Pretty much, you just put it in there and it goes right up in the crack. You see that 90-degree turn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, look, that's the locking thing I was talking about. So that's what holds it on the inside, is there's like a little locking thing that grabs it by that, and then that's your little gasket, but it's yeah, there it is. And it kind of just releases, but a new one comes on the new axle, so we're good. Alright guys, so we just went ahead and we got this entire car fully taken apart. We got all the suspension taken off, and we went ahead and we got that whole front end disassembled as well, and all those parts are right here, guys. Honestly, not too much, but also quite a bit of parts that we need for this thing. And I also went ahead and I just set the gaps on this fender, because if you guys remember, when the wheel was shoved back into the inner fender, it did make the gaps on this fender get all weird and wonky. So I went ahead and I set them, and they look absolutely amazing. Even up here, guys, everything looks amazing, and everything opens as it should, and everything closes as it should, guys. Take a look at those gaps. It all looks super amazing. So now the next step on this car is going to be to order all of these parts and get them rolling, and then in the next video we're gonna go ahead and install some parts and also straighten out this frame. It's not even that bad, it's just a little bit pushed in. We can easily pull that out, and that is it for frame damage on this car, guys. So this car is definitely looking really good, and it's came a long way, guys. But guys, that is gonna be all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and if you guys haven't already, check out the Instagram channel. I'll have it linked down below, and drop a follow if you do check it out. And if you guys are liking this Tiguan build, guys, then be sure to go down below, hit that like button. While you're at, there's a shiny red subscribe button that you should click. But thank you all so much for watching, and thank you all so much for all the love and support, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.